is it? When you made this?
Friday Night Vibe. Seems like we keep having this issue. The devil don't want us to be great, but guess what? Where there's a will, there is a way. So welcome to Facebook Live Friday Night Vibe. I have my special co-host here tonight, Just Mel. Say hello.
How's everyone doing?
All right, and we have our special guests, Mr. Demetrius and Miss Jasmine.
Hey, how's it going on Facebook?
Hello.
So we've been literally, I wasn't going to say this, but we've been literally having a conversation offline when we thought we were online. So now that we are online and live on Facebook, we are going to go ahead and dive into this. So the topic tonight is single and satisfied. So it just seems that in the society that we live in today, just seems like it's hard to remain in a relationship. So we're going to talk tonight because of the society that we live in around social media and even people who may sleep with their phones locked and under their pillow. So tonight we're going to talk about singleness the new marriage? And is singleness a gift or a curse? So we're going to, like I said, we've already been talking. We're going to dive right into it. So we're going to go ahead and hand it back over to Miss Jasmine. So what say you? Singleness is a blessing or a curse?
A blessing. I'm not going to say that there isn't times that I probably like, I wish I had somebody, but 99.5% of the time, it is definitely a blessing. You learn to love yourself. You learn to understand yourself. You learn what you'll tolerate, what you're not going to tolerate, your deal breakers. You learn that being by yourself is a less of a headache. It's cheaper. You get good sleep good at night with the fan on, not having to worry about nobody being out here cheating on you. Talking about, I mean,
I'll definitely drink to that.
So. It's time to build your brand.
Hey.
I'm here with that. You know, that sleep with the fan on is my love language. the fan bothering you, baby. We can't do nothing.
That's his deal breaker.
I got 2 fans and the window open. We got like going on over here.
Okay.
Wow. Now, Jasmine, you just said deal breaker. Mm-hmm. For anybody that's watching on Facebook or may watch later, they may not know what deal breaker means. So just describe what a deal breaker is, or tell us what your deal breaker would be.
So a deal breaker is something that you will absolutely, positively never tolerate within a relationship. And that doesn't necessarily mean a love relationship. That's in a relationship, friendship, anything. For me, my deal breaker would be somebody who does not believe in God. I have a strong faith, and I'm a firm believer that I would not be where I am, have what I have, be able to do what I do without God. So I need a mate that is going to be equally yoked and willing to lead. And that's Bible-based. And if you don't know the Bible and know God, then you don't know me. Because I need you to love me like Christ loved the church. That was a sermon. Come on, somebody.
As for me in my house,
okay,
we will serve the Lord.
We shall. Okay.
Y'all are too funny.
So, I heard you say willing to lead, Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that that's one of the issues why a lot of women are single, or a lot of women in the church are single, because there are no men that are willing to actually lead?
Yes, I do. There's a problem with men that want to be taken care of. And I feel like that comes from, back in the day, grandma didn't work, grandma stayed home, she took care of the kids, she had dinner on the table. But that's because grandma didn't have to work. The man was going out, he was going out working, bringing home the money, he was paying the bills, he was, bringing the bacon and putting on the table. You can't expect me to work 40 hours a week with your 40 and still do everything grandma did.
Okay.
I need you to lead me. So you need to be on your knees praying, because Bible based, it says, finding a wife is a good thing. I'm a helpmate. I want you to love me like Christ loved the church. And if you can't do that, if you don't know who Christ is, then you can't love me properly, because you'll never know how Christ loved the church. And if you don't love yourself properly, if you ain't loving Christ, you're not going to love yourself properly, which means I shouldn't even be a figure in your mind. You got to get you right first. Build your brand. Make me want to come shop at your store.
Ooh.
Wow, that says it all right there.
That's a lot right there.
Okay.
All right, Demetrius, what you got to add?
Now, I am going to piggyback to that. A lot of people talk about how their grandmas and grandpas did things, and that's what a lot of people want. A lot of people want tradition. But here's my thing: are we willing to do what our grandparents did to make things last?
Mm-mm.
I actually, I've had conversations with people like, well, you want tradition, but you're not doing the same thing Grandma Margaret and Grandma Hattie did. You know what I'm saying? You want the same type of man your grandpa was, but are you doing the things that your grandmother did to get the man that James was when he met Ethel? We just gonna throw out names like that, because that was 3-4 generations ago for some of us. And a lot of things have changed. A lot of women want a man that's gonna lead, but are you going to let him lead? What is
We shouldn't have to let you lead if you're actually leading. You don't let your supervisor lead at work. They just know what they have to do and they get it done. And
if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, we don't mind submitting to that.
Right. So I have a question for the two of you, because as we were talking off stage, there is a little bit of an age difference. I did realize I'm old enough to be both of y'all's mamas. So my question is,
not quite.
If I was a little fast, if I was a little hot in the pants,
I had a coworker tell me that. She goes, "You're the same age as my son." I said, "But you're not old enough to be my mom." She goes, "I was fast, your mom was slow." I said, "Hey, I'm gonna say that."
You see what I'm saying? But I would like to know, like, for the younger generation, what is dating like for you? Just so we can do like a little comparison, because for me, being almost 50, it's my second time around. So have you two been married? Do you have children? Like, what's your background with dating at your ages?
Single with no children, never been married. A lot of people in my generation don't know what marriage is.
Okay.
To some people, and I've had conversations with friends, it's just a piece of paper. No, it's not. It's more than just a piece of paper, because like I told someone, even without the paper, you can still be married. You know what I'm saying? Although the paper ain't always been there, because back in the day, there probably wasn't a marriage certificate. You didn't have papers on people, but it's more than just a paper. It's willing to go through the hell and hot water with someone and not even thinking about leaving. I worked at an urgent care a couple years ago, and this man and this woman came in, and the man was back there for about maybe 20-30 minutes. The wife comes in, "Oh my God, baby, I was worried." Long story short, they were 92 and 93. They had been together since they were 14 and 15.
Wow.
I say y'all got together when breaking up wasn't an option. You found the solution to every problem.
Right.
And now what it is with my generation is we're looking at Instagram, we're looking at Facebook, we're looking at people doing pranks on TikTok where it's a whole bunch of toxic. It's just toxic, you know. And I told somebody, you know, if it wasn't for me being an entrepreneur, I wouldn't be on social media at all.
Right.
You know, everybody
how does
wants
what you know. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but how does what you see and what you've lived so far affect your dating life? I love the fact that you are marriage minded. I picked that up from you, and we don't see that a lot in the younger generation. But for you specifically, how is today's society with dating and social media? How is that affecting your dating life personally?
I tried the dating thing out, and I'm to the point to where if I find somebody, I do. If I don't, I don't. I'm not pressed. I've never been one to be pressed for a relationship. I'm one of those, if it happens, it happens, you know? It's like anything. If it's meant for you, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, I do have an age, you know, if I'm not married by about 35, hey, this is what it is, Lord. It just went for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's not one of them things where I'm also not going to settle just be in a relationship with someone to get the marriage that I want. I see a lot of people settle. And why am I gonna settle? You see me? What am I settling for? You know? This ain't no snack.
We do see you.
Right here,
yeah,
you know
we do.
Saying?
But let me ask you another question. When is the last time you've been on a date? Like, when is the last time you
do people
physically
even date anymore?
Right.
You know, it's funny
they
because
date. Yeah, people do date. It's a little different than when I dated, you know, pre-marriage, but there's some dating going on. A lot of what I hear is situationships. Are you guys familiar? Okay. So not a fan by any stretch of the imagination. Am I a fan of that? But I just wanted to know, like, as a man, when is the last time you physically approached a woman and took her on a date?
The last time I went on an actual date that I would actually consider a date was October of 16.
2016.
2016 is when I went on the last actual date.
Oh, that was
So
the
is
year.
it been
that
that length of time because you guys were courting or you were in some kind of relationship?
We were just met each other. It was on a dating site, which I just don't do anymore. After that fiasco, baby, I can't do no dating site. You know, one of my, of course, like try Tinder. I didn't like Tinder because I gotta like your picture before I get to know you. And I don't want you to think I want you like that. So, you know, the last time I went on an actual date was October of 2016.
So why has there been so much time between the last time you went on a date and today?
Because I'm nobody's bank. Everybody wants to be financed. You know, they want, you want to be courted, but that's all you want. You want to be courted, but you're just the basketball. You wouldn't go in anybody's hands. We're not doing it.
Mindset is different.
Right.
I had a friend actually the other day tell me, a guy friend that told me he asked the girl to go to lunch, simple date, and she told him that her friends were coming with her, and it was his responsibility to pay for her and her friends.
Why are friends coming to date? This ain't high school.
Right.
And pay for who? I'm more interested in one of y'all.
Yeah, that's a bit extreme. But Jasmine, I want to extend the same question to you. Like, when's the last time you were physically asked out on a date and actually went on a date?
Physically asked on a date?
Yes. That long, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I mean, so I have a daughter. Never been married, but I do have a daughter. So my situation is a little different from Demetrius. So whoever I choose to date or entertain has to understand that my child absolutely comes first. You're not gonna meet her until I know that you're gonna, you know, like my feelings and your feelings are aligned, and I'm sure that this is gonna be a long haul. You're not gonna meet my daughter. You're not coming to my house where we lay our head. We can meet.
Mm-hmm. So you're open, excuse me, you're open to dating. It's just lack of
I'm open to dating, but I'm not gonna take no mess.
Okay. How about you, Demetrius? Are you the same, open to dating?
Yeah, I'm open to it. But you just have to be. I don't want nothing temporary. I want those. I like to get to know you for a little bit before a date, because if I have I won't really say interview process and all of that, but I can feel if we're gonna make it to that date, and I can pretty sure on a date feel like if I'm gonna see you again. You know, I went bowling with somebody, a couple weeks ago, and I just knew that it just wasn't gonna be another thing. Had a good time, but we can just be friends and have fun and bowl. We can't do nothing more than that. But yeah, I'm just one of those. I'm very picky. So I'm real cautious about who I spend my money on.
Right.
So
right.
I don't want it to be one of the things where we go out on a date and because I'm not one of those to just take you anywhere. I'm not one of those, here, let's do a 2 for $20.
Right.
I'm one of those, hey.
So how much of a factor does look play into that for you? Because I know you said you have an interview process.
Oh wow.
But what
I
if
would
she
love to
passed
know
all
the
that interview process?
Yeah.
And then
basically I'm just really trying to see what your conversations are like, are you consistent? What are your conversations like? Do we have something different to talk about every time we talk? Is it always about the same thing? Are you ambitious? Are you goal oriented? Are you self-motivated? Do you love you? Or are you just looking for somebody to fill that void that you have yet to do? I need to figure all of that out before. I need to figure all of that out before we even go on a date, and it doesn't take long to figure that out, because usually I can meet somebody on a Saturday, by that following Friday, we're probably doing something if I feel like we'll get there.
Okay, I want to do a few shout outs because people are listening. Hey, Daquan Starnes, talking about some major facts, bro. We got Johanna Shantia. Where are the single men? We're going to answer that in just a moment. And then Rochelle Lucille says, somebody lying. Ask them what are some examples of dates. I think that's a great question, Rochelle. And that's what I want Jasmine and Demetrius to address right now. What are some examples of dates?
You want to go first, Jasmine, or you want me to go first?
I can go first. Examples of dates. At this point, I'm beyond the Netflix and chill. I'm beyond it. Like, that's not what we're gonna do.
I'm sad it don't really mean Netflix and chill.
It just means chill.
I mean, this is true, but
Netflix.
I want to watch Netflix and literally chill.
But they don't want to watch it.
I know, and it's so sad.
For me, being a woman, I want a man that can plan a date. Don't just say, "Oh, I want to take you out," and they say, "Oh, where you want to go eat? What you want to go do?" Like,
that's a good one.
I need you to plan it. Say, "Hey, are you free on this day? Can we go on a date?" Maybe ask me what my favorite food is, but plan it. We're gonna go to this place and eat dinner, or you just gonna pull up. We going here to eat, or we might go do. I live by the beach, so we can do a little putt golf, or we can. It's a lot to do. It's a lot to do, and you don't have to do anything that costs you a whole lot of money. We can go walk on the boardwalk, get some sweet frog, and chill, and that can be considered a date because it's intimate time between you and I.
Where you from again? Because I don't hear that too often. Sweet frog, walk, putt. Where you from again?
So I'm from Chadron, North Carolina. It's a real small town.
Okay.
Area code 910.
I don't hear that too often. I don't hear that too often. So like, I'm gonna let you finish first before I go ahead.
But for me, it's not about the money, because I can take care of me. My house is mine. My cars are mine. I don't need you to feed me. You can tell sis not missing a meal.
Girl, we eating, ain't we?
I don't need you to feed me. I don't need you to pay my light bill. I don't want you to get my hair done, nor my nails done. I can do that myself. So if you coming up with a date doesn't necessarily mean you got to break the bank.
Yeah.
I need intimate time with you. One thing, time is something you cannot get back. You can get your money back. What they say, spend it, get it right back.
Okay.
Give me something that's not tangible. Give me something that you cannot get back. You cannot get your time back.
Yeah.
And for me, going on a date means I got to get a babysitter. I got to plan an outfit because I ain't been on a date in so long. All I got is work clothes and church clothes. So I got to plan an outfit. I got to take the time to get dressed. Like, that's my time investment.
Yeah.
So,
it's an
I
investment.
gotta make sure all my schoolwork done so I can, go out. So that's my time invested. That's what a date is for me. Don't make me take me out somewhere. Show me off a little bit.
I love it. Demetrius, how about you?
So I'm definitely one of those. I don't do just the one part date. I usually do about two or three parts. I'm one of those type of people. If I'm gonna ask you out, we're gonna be out for a couple hours. You know, of course we're gonna eat. But I might want to go to the gun range first. I might want to go bowling first. You know, I want to, you know, or, you know, we may go eat first and then do something else. You know, we may go to like a winery, a vineyard or something, and then, you know, do a little tipsy bowling or whatever. But, you know, I want to type people, when I say I want to go out, I want to go out. I'm not with the whole, hey, let's go eat and I'll drop you back off. No, I'm one of those, hey, I'll be there at 6. I need you to be out the door by 6:05. Because we got reservations at 6:35, and we got something else planned at 9. I'm from Charlotte. I'm from Charlotte. Well,
they don't do that.
Wait, did you just say Charlotte? Like Charlotte, North Carolina?
Charlotte, North Carolina, 70490. I'm here.
You were born.
I'm gonna tell you what that is.
Born and raised.
That's who he was raised by.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Because I've
So,
written
you know,
this city off. As soon as a man say I was born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina, thank you so much for coming. God bless. Good night.
You know, I typically, at one point, I wouldn't talk to anybody that was from North or South Carolina. I just wouldn't. I feel like we're all kind of sort of raised the same or something like that, you know.
Don't do that.
I'm just, but yeah, so I'm definitely one of those that do that. You know, I want to know what you like to do, what's your favorite food, then I'll make sure I do something you like, and then I'll do something you haven't experienced before. So I'm one of those building experiences.
Daquan said y'all almost matchmaking on here. Who we matching up, bro? What you talking about?
Hey,
Joanna.
I was about to
Let me
say,
read
like,
this really
wait a minute,
quick.
y'all want to know where each other are.
Yeah. I mean, because you know, you hear
I'm just trying to figure out where I need to go.
yeah,
Right.
Because this ain't it. Like this
Nina
not
said women want to be dated even after they are gotten because men forget we constantly want to be dated. Make the effort.
Well, she can run into little boys, sound like, because I don't want to. I believe the same way you got them, the same way you keep them.
Oh,
Definitely.
okay.
Absolutely.
I think it resorts back to how you were raised. Like
Yeah,
my
it
grandmother
has
told
to.
me when my head got above the stove, it was time to start cooking. You know, so like it really depends on how you were raised. If you was in a house, where you seen, oh, my mama had a different dude every other day, and this, so you think it's okay to have, oh, you can go see this woman today and go see that woman tomorrow. So I think it depends on how you were raised. So I think as a community, if we want, if I want a man that's gonna be, what I want him to be, I need to start looking at the little boys in the community too, because my daughter coming up. So I might need to reach out that hand and be like, baby, that's, talk to him a little bit, because it's hard out here in these streets. It is.
Right.
Guys don't open doors no more.
Yeah.
They don't open doors. They ain't holding doors.
Yeah, chivalry is dead. I've learned that with the younger generation that, we don't have a lot of gentlemen. And that's something that's missing because, y'all know that I have twin sons. And that's something that I always teach them. Like when we're walking into a door, if there's a lady that's walking behind her, we move out of the way and we hold that door for her. And, that's just a nice gesture. And we don't have that these days because young men are, well, not even young men, but young women as well. I don't know if it's just the generation or, peer pressure or what it is, but it's just like there's no morals and values.
Yeah.
So dating is like out of the picture. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to go on this app and we're going to talk and, we're going to meet up and wherever we meet up at, and even back in the day when people, when I was younger, me and Mel are around the same age. Yeah. People, if we met up and did whatever. Now, if we did something we had no business doing, at least we, got a hotel room. But nowadays it's like in your car, behind the mall or wherever you are. So it's kind of like the young people don't have any morals. The morals and values have left. And I don't know if it's because the grandmas raising, the grandmas have died out. And it's kind of like the grandmas now are like, okay, I'm almost a friend to my daughter or a friend to my son. So maybe that's one of the things too, that, you know, parents aren't parenting anymore. So they're not teaching their sons, this is what you do for a young lady. And to their daughters, like, you wait on him, because the Bible tells us clearly that a man that findeth a wife finds something good and obtains favor from the Lord.
From the
Come on
Lord.
But see,
now.
the thing about it is, today it's like the women are looking for a man. I want a man. I want a man. Well, sit your tail down somewhere and wait for the man that God has for you to come find you. If you're not hidden in God, then where's he going to look?
But
Right.
see, that's also the problem. God is becoming obsolete to a lot of people.
Amen.
And so
Amen.
they don't know where to look to find their wife because they don't know God.
Right.
And so I think another reason is a lot of men are not comfortable in their masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
And women are on the rise. Women have become, we've been independent and doing it since forever. But here lately, it's been,
it's definitely been a shift, and I don't think men are adjusting to.
Right. Some men are not okay with that woman making more
here.
money than them, or
yeah.
Because even with me, it's like people like, you bought a house, you don't have no husband. Okay, what I'm supposed to do? Be homeless because I don't have a husband? I mean, am I supposed to not make moves because I don't have a ring on my finger? Like, so men have to become comfortable in their masculinity as well, because they're intimidated by strong women. And I refuse to not be a strong woman just to stroke
real men though, because real man wants a woman who has her own. When I meet you, I want you to have your own house. I want you to have your own car. I want you to be able to take care of yourself without me. I was raised by my grandmother as a young Black male. 16 years old, moved in with my grandmother, and she taught me how to wash clothes. She taught me how, to do what I needed to do. And what she told me was, I'm not saying that you'll never have a wife or a woman, but what I'm saying is, if you don't, you know how to take care of yourself. So if you're not coming with me, everybody's saying, oh, I want you to do 50-50. We're going to you 50-50. No, 100. Because if you bring your 100 and I bring my 100, then we over the top. If you only got 50, then you don't have enough for me anyway.
Yeah, you're lacking. You're coming into this lacking.
Yep. I had to explain to somebody one time. I said, if you ask for 50-50, and there's a point in time where one of us can't give our 50, we're gonna be short. I say, so what you do is you find you somebody who's willing to work just as hard as you are to make sure you guys stay afloat. That way, if you don't have something, they're gonna always make sure you have. Just like a lot of people say, oh, well, if you can't bring what I bring to the table, we can't be nothing. Well, if we bring in both the same thing to the table, we still missing some things.
And quit talking about all these tables. I'm so sick of this table thing. Where did that come from?
I'm just saying, that's what people
I don't care what's on the table, because I bought my table. So
I am the table.
I own my table.
I'm with Demetrius. I am the table.
So whether you got something or not, I'm gonna eat. My table got all its legs. Okay,
I told you I ain't miss no meals.
Honey.
Okay.
Honey.
Definitely.
But yeah, from what I see, it's just, I feel like a lot of times men feel displaced, and it's not just younger men. Men are displaced. Women are really on the rise, like Jazz said. We have our own. It wasn't like that 30, 40 years ago. A woman couldn't even get her own bank account in her own name until 1975. And even then, that was the year I was born. Even then, she still needed a note from her husband. She needed permission. So women no longer need permission to be women, to be head, to be business managers, to be moguls, to be millionaires. We no longer need permission. And so there was no merging into this. It was like all of a sudden out of nowhere, women just came up. We just got tired of waiting on a man. And I tell my story often. I was in a relationship with a man, and we were together, and never in my life had I ever been evicted until I got into this relationship. I didn't even know what it was or how to deal. I didn't know how to pack instant. There's so much I didn't know until I got with somebody who wasn't good for me. And so my singleness is definitely a gift because now I can be my best self. I can be my authentic self. I don't have to have that care for someone else's feelings. I can concentrate and focus on being that woman of greatness that I see a lot of women around me being. And I'm not saying marriage is bad. I think there comes a time in your life where you have to realize where you belong. Some people do not need to get married. If you have a side chick and you walking down the aisle, you are those people.
Or if you calling your side chick that morning that you're supposed to get married.
Well, you just left her house. Hey, Tiara, Shanice.
If you got a side,
hey,
if you got a side chick or side dude, period. Like, come on. If you can't let go of people, if you can't let go of somebody to even be in a relationship, if you already established you're in a relationship, why do you need somebody on the other side? At that point, just be single.
Right. And that says a lot about yourself and your insecurities that you're feeding, and you're parting out portions of your life. I just don't have time for it. I want to free my mind up to be creative. I'm starting a business. I'm buying properties in multiple states. I'm about to become a notary. You know, I'm helping people. I would rather focus on those things than is my man cheating, trying to break the lock on his phone. I got to smell his drawers every time he come home. I just don't have time. I don't.
We don't want to see you on Maury now. Just talking about smelling.
Yeah, no, I would not be on Maury. I would probably be on ABC Nightly News because I will kill you in your sleep. Don't play with my emotions, honey. And this is not premeditation by any stretch of the imagination. This is just a Black woman using some colorful words. Okay, I'm not here to kill, steal, or destroy. But honey, some of y'all, I feel like if there were more Lorena Bobbitts in the world, there would be less people on cheaters. How about that?
That's right. You're absolutely right.
Lorena
speaking of cheating,
she went
let's talk about love languages, because that's a new term that some of the older people that are watching may not understand what we mean when we're saying love language. What is your love language? Because that's another issue. People in relationships, they're in relationship with a person and they've said, I love you, I'm going to be there for you, but you know absolutely nothing about their love language. You don't know what moves them. You don't know what makes them tick. You don't know what makes them feel beautiful or handsome or wanted or appreciated, but you love this person. You don't love them. You love the idea of loving them, but you have no idea what their love language actually is. So
Tiara Shanice said, give me a few $1 million. That's my love language.
But I can.
But no, love language is shopping or money. Some people's that's just some people's love language.
And then there's some people. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay. No, so there's some people where your wife or your girlfriend's upset. You went and bought her a gift when all she wanted is your quality time. She wants you to hug her. Something like that. I got to the point now. Once I've started talking to somebody, we think where we going. I'll randomly send you a love language quiz in the middle of the day. Hey, here are mine. Mine is words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch. That's me. I need them 3 things. I need to know I'm doing things good. I need to know I made your day. I need to know I make you happy.
Yeah. My love language is all of them in a chicken sandwich.
And understanding that I sleep with my air and heat on 67 with the fan going on high.
Yes, sir.
That too.
That
and
right
music.
there. Yeah.
Those are important things to know. Those are important things to know when dating somebody.
I just need time.
You didn't get to it with somebody and just like, if you don't know a person, then you don't know what to expect. You don't know what to do. Like I said, you don't know what to cater towards them. You have to know, like Mel said, all of this and above and the chicken sandwich. So if you come with all of this and above and you forgot the chicken sandwich, then guess what? You missed her love language. You still didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to know that on Thursday night, I want some snacks in my couch in Grey's Anatomy, the Station 19. And I want you to leave me alone.
I
mean, I want you to know that on Sunday morning when I'm getting dressed, I don't want to have really a conversation with you. I want to listen to my worship music and I want to get my mind right for praise and worship, before I walk into the sanctuary. I want you to know that I'm gonna tell you I don't like flowers because I kill them. But if you send them to me, you talk about a grand, like that's the stuff that you have to talk to me to actually.
I love that you mentioned flowers. I read something the other day that said the first time a man gets flowers is at his funeral. So my question to the two fellas here, have you ever received flowers, or have you ever thought about receiving flowers, and how did that make you feel?
It's funny you asked that. My birthday was the 13th of February, and one of my homegirls, she's probably watching, shout out to Tangi, she called me because I celebrated my birthday the Friday before, which was the 11th, and I had nothing else planned that weekend. None of my friends, the people I call my friend, nobody planned anything for me. And she's like, Meech, why are you sitting in the house on a Saturday night? And I took time off work. So Sunday, she came by my house. She got me strawberry shortcake. All I wanted for my birthday was a cake. She got me strawberry shortcake. She got me a bottle of rosé. She got me 3 balloons and some roses that I still got sitting on over my fireplace mantle, about dead. And, it was just that, and it really made me feel, and we're just friends, remind you, but I was like, dang, my friend, she loved me like my whole, that's
why are you just friends with Tangi? She sounds awesome.
I was about to say the same thing. Did you see me give you a side eye?
I gave you a side eye. Who is this? Rochelle Lucille. Whose friend is this? Because she said, is Jasmine making an ad for herself? No, honey.
Who tell best friend don't do me?
So let me tell Rochelle. So what we're doing is we're really just delving into and giving details. And I think Jasmine has been very great at illustrating what she's looking for, what's been missing, and things that she desires. So we talk about the Bible. The Bible says make your request known, and that's what we're doing. Even though
you have not, honey, ask not.
Okay, and I'm always asking, give me some. I want it. What is it? I don't even have to know what it is. I'm gonna want it until I don't. But yeah,
to piggyback what you're saying, I'm really just trying to figure out what's the problem, because guys, I've heard so many times, oh, you just so strong, you just so strong-minded, you just so stubborn, and you stuck in your way.
Where are they in Chadburn or wherever you are?
Right, like I'm trying to figure out where she finding them man.
Because what kind of man doesn't want a strong one? What kind of black man doesn't want a strong?
I think the word is strong. The key word is strong, and that can be taken many different ways. Yeah, I know it's not. I'm so sorry. It's not.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna let you know I'm about 15 years ahead of you, and it's gonna pretty much be the same. But it's the word strong is what I'm thinking. I think everyone kind of has a definition of that word strong. It's that one word. I think because there's many ways that it's translated. Sometimes when a man hears a strong woman, he automatically thinks you're combative, you're not going to listen to him, you're headstrong, you're not malleable, you're not able to mesh well with whatever his vision is or however he words it.
Or I'm not going to play your game.
Yeah, and that's another reason we're going to be single for a minute, because we don't play games. One thing I can't stand is a man who will do this test. So I literally took an Uber from Outback one day, met a guy, great guy, but he was saying stuff that wasn't true. And so I felt some type of way about it, and I said it to him, and he goes to me, oh, well, I was just testing you. So the first time I let it go, I thought maybe he was nervous, he's just making up stuff for whatever reason. He did it the third time. I said, hey, listen, I'm gonna just go ahead and remove myself from your test. I didn't do well in school with these things. I'm not gonna do it in a relationship, but I wish you the best with your test.
Pause. Can we go back?
I wish you the best. And I left my $40, and I got me an Uber home. And from that, I learned I always meet them there. That was the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned is once you set and establish a boundary, stick to it, because it makes you more marketable as a person, not just in a relationship, but period. Nobody wants somebody who's flimsy, goes anywhere the wind blows, you seem a little fair weather, because you have no boundaries. Another thing, back to what I was saying before, men are lost in the sauce. men, I mean, look at society. Men are used to getting everything they've ever wanted. They got it. Look at everything. You had multiple women and the women couldn't work, so they had to deal with poly, having a whole family by your husband around the corner. Now we don't. Men used to be the providers and the breadwinners and the protectors. We can own guns now. We can manage our own money. It's just lost in the sauce. And so I'm just wondering if there's a man over 40 who can help me out with this, but how do you start the dating process again is my thing. After you've been married or in a long-term relationship and now you're single, that's where I'm just kind of like missing the boat.
I think you find you.
You just gotta put yourself out there.
I don't think so.
Hold on.
There is out there
because there's no commercials for Lamborghini or Ferrari.
Let me finish. When I say put yourself out there, you have to treat yourself. You have to let a man see how you want to be treated. Okay. You have to show. Sometimes you have to show us what it is that you want. Are you making sure, you know, when you leave the house, you look nice every time? Is you, do you keep yourself up? You know, how do you wear your hair? How do you show off yourself? You know, because we are walking billboards. Whether it's, you know, for business, for yourself, we are walking billboards. So if a man wants to be interested in you, if he's interested in you, of course he likes something about you. So how are you carrying yourself? So when I say put yourself out there, you have to literally put you out there. You know, go out, you know, hey, how you doing? Don't be all snobby and stuck up. And now I'm not saying just women, I'm just saying people, period, because I had a conversation with a friend. It's one of the things where if we're not interested in somebody, sometimes we treat them wrong or ignore them when all they want to do is say, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Yeah. How's your day? But we're nasty because we're not interested like they're interested. Men and women both do that. I do it sometimes too, you know what I'm saying? So you have to, again, put yourself out there, make yourself available.
But you know what? I want to say sometimes, as far as with me and Mel being older, and both of us have been married, both of us have, you know, been married at some point, and we're both single again. It's not always that easy when you're older, male or female, when you're older and you're coming back into the, I guess, single life or dating scene, because so much has changed at such a rapid pace that it's kind of like we're already trying to figure out the Facebooks and the Instagrams and the TikToks and the 99 other social media platforms that we have, on top of saying, hey, I'm getting back into the dating world, or, you know, I'm no longer married. I'm single now. I'm single again now. And that already in itself is kind of like, I don't want to say a red flag, but when you say kind of like, hey, I'm single again, some people are kind of like, well, why are you single again? Because now you're older, and a lot of young people, some of them, not a lot of them, look at older people as you should be settled and you should be married by this point, and you know, you should have this nice house and this dog and the picket fence, and you should literally have it all. So now it's kind of like, again, I don't want to say a red flag, but it's a red flag that, hey, you've been there, you've been around the block maybe a couple times, and so what is it that you didn't get, you know, as 45, 46, 45 to 50 or whatever. So it's not really that easy to just ease back into it. These things that you're saying, these are things that a lot of us do because we're older. So we know, you know, don't go outside with the bonnet on, you know, take the do-rag off to go in the grocery store, you know, leave the bedroom, leave the house slippers at the house where they belong, you know, all that stuff. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, and then again, because we've been where we've been and we've experienced what we've experienced, there is this issue with us like, no, I've seen that before. Yeah. I've seen that in this person. Yeah. I've seen the same thing, different person. So you got on the same outfit, you just changed faces. So now we're to the point where we don't know how to get back into it. But at the same time, once we're back into it, it's kind of like, nope, I've already been down that street,
Right.
and it ended me where I am now.
Right. And then men now, our age, they're dealing with, well, y'all age too, dealing with child support. You know, I always told my son, if you have 2 kids by 2 different women, you have 2 families. You've created 2 families. So you'll meet a man who have 11 kids by 7 women. Sir, you have no room for me in your life because you already have 7 families, you know, and because they're not dating to get to know me or for longevity, I think that's a turnoff. I think a lot of it is based on energy. You can feel someone's energy and their intentions. And if your intentions seem to be anything other than mine or something that I cannot compliment, because I believe as a woman, one of my roles is to compliment a man, the life that he's already living. So I always tell men, like, if you're just working a 9 to 5, I'm gonna just let you know right now, I'm gonna be very bored with you. I love a man with vision and purpose and dream and potential. And you know what I'm saying? He's doing something other than clocking in and out. You know, where do you see yourself? What's your hustle? You know, I have a hustle. I have businesses. I want you to be on that level. And priorities. You're driving an $80,000 car and you've worked at Bank of America for 18 years, but your teeth look like a New York City skyline. I mean, what are we doing?
Jesus. You know, a lot of people I've learned are more worried about turning heads. You know, I'm actually in the, I have my own credit business, and there's a lot of people I know, they want the latest labels, but yet they want to start a business, but they financially can't qualify for it because they rather spend $250 on a pair of shoes every week, or, you know, they want the, you know, latest anything or do this, do that, but they don't want to fix their finances. You know, I'm big on priorities. I've always been one of those since working at 15, money, and get this, get that. You know, I've always been one of the type of people I needed my own wheels. You know, I've always needed that. So I would rather you talk about my car that's a little over 10 years, that's about 10 years old, and why he got that, why he not got J's on, but just know when I buy my house, that's why. You know,
right.
My biggest thing is I'm focused on what people can't see often. Care about how, okay, cool. I jumped out of Honda. You know, somebody told me, wait, you have a business and you drive a Honda Accord? I absolutely do. Because you'll be
and right now,
you'll
$87,
be in the shop before my Honda Accord will, okay?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Your
that's
BMW
correct.
will be in the shop first, you know? So
I want to go over some of these comments in the chat. Rochelle Lucille is really going in. I don't know where she come from, but I love her. Joanna Shantia. So Rochelle
my
says,
best friend.
hey, best friend. Go, best friend. I love that song, y'all.
Rochelle is the person, the co-host. She's on there with me, normal, which me and you and her are gonna get together because we have to,
because I love Rochelle. But let me tell you what she said real fast. She said, if you are seeing the same thing with different faces, you need to ask yourself, what energy am I putting out and attracting? Ooh. So Rochelle, I want to address this because I disagree. I believe, let me tell you what I believe and what I've learned living life. The anointing, for those of us who are in the word, the anointing or your gifts or your purpose, they're going to attract everybody.
Or they're trying to coattail on the blessing.
Bums ain't only attracted to bums. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna your light and your energy and your gifts and your whatever are gonna attract everybody. It's what you connect to that says a lot about you. It's what you're holding hands with and you're bringing into your life and what you're engaging in that says a lot about you. So I already know you're gonna attract all types of people, puppies, babies, raccoons, squirrels, whatever it is. You're gonna attract it no matter what. But let's look at the people that's in your circle. Let's look at your tribe. Let's look at those people that you engage with on a daily basis. That's what really says a lot about a person. I understand what James is saying 100%. Your awareness is more heightened when you come out of a long-term relationship. and you just made up in your mind, there's some things that I put up with before and I saw where it led me, and I'm not going to put up with it anymore. So it makes you give off a no nonsense energy, which a lot of times people can misconstrue for you're standoffish, you're hard to deal with, you know, blah, blah, blah,
Question,
that
though.
kind of thing. And Tiara Shanice said, but with a lot of T's, she said, I have to disagree. It's pretty much energy though. Tiara, I agree. I agree with that energy, because energy about a person can tell you a lot. And energy is what the world actually calls, what we say in the spiritual realm is discernment. You can tell when people's intentions and stuff. Yeah, you're right about that. So shout out to Tiara Shanice.
So a question with you coming out of a marriage and going into dating, did you look back on that marriage and see what part you played in that marriage and the fail of that
How
marriage?
can you not, girl? I was rewinding stuff
Absolutely.
while I was still in it because I was trying to get out. Yes,
Because
ma'am.
some people, you know, they're so caught up on placing the blame on the other person that they don't
Mhm.
work on themselves. And so if you can't, you know, part of attracting some of the same people is that if you're the same person,
Absolutely.
you can fall into that category as well. So if you're
You are
not
100%.
building your brand and fixing you, then you're gonna get the same thing, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting
Amen.
different results.
Hey, hello,
Yes.
Right.
hello. But also with the I know we've brought up marriage a lot of times on this thing. People don't date to marry anymore. People date for the season. People date because they're lonely, and people date to look good on social media. Me personally, when I date, even when I'm in a relationship, I don't post it on social media. It just, I keep my relationship private without keeping it a secret. Yes, I'm in a relationship. You'll never know who I'm in a relationship with until I get married. That's just me. I could put on Facebook right now I'm in a relationship and nobody would know who I was talking about. Friends, family, best friends, nobody would know who I'm talking about because I'm that private. But and a lot of people have that issue because, oh, I'm in a new relationship. Oh, I'm single again. Oh, I'm in a relationship. I seen somebody get in 7 relationships in 6 months one time. I had to block them on Facebook. I
I
couldn't
know
keep seeing
all
that
these
energy.
kings. My king. Oh, shut it down.
Marriage
You know?
has become a business.
Marriage
It's a
is a
business.
business, though.
So it's
Marriage
dating.
has always been a business.
So it's
But I'm
dating.
saying now it's
Restaurants.
different. Like in this day, it being a business, like you were saying earlier, you were saying that people say that marriage is just a piece of paper. And so they say that because they look at marriage like, you can be on my bank account. We ain't got to be married to do that. Or we can go buy a house together. We ain't got to be married to do that. And we can have babies together and we ain't got to be married to do that. So they look at it like it's certain things that make it versus the relationship and the connection. And I often say, refer back to the thing of, if we not married and the good Lord take you from here, I am your special friend.
And
You will not have me a special friend.
I don't have no rights. When some
and
has,
Miss
they
Helen may
gonna call
not
your
even put
mama.
you as that. Yeah.
They're gonna call your mama and ask your
Yeah.
mama what she want to be done.
You can make
Not
no
the person
decision.
that's been living in the house with you,
Yeah.
paying the bills with you,
Yeah.
raising the kids with you, nursing you back to health when you're sick, washing your underwear, and cooking your meal. I don't want to be your special friend.
Just like I told somebody, if I can't make the call to pull your plug when you about to die, I ain't even arguing with you. I ain't arguing with nobody I ain't married to. You know what I'm saying? Because if they still gotta call your family before me, we ain't got nothing to argue about. We have absolutely nothing to argue about. And my thing is now, we don't get no younger. Young, I'm still young. I'm 31, but I'm only getting older from here. So my goal, if I'm dating to marry. So that's why I'm kind of sort of, looking at different things here, looking at different there, keeping my eyes open and not putting all of my eggs in one basket. Okay. But I've also learned that, we're talking about past. I've also learned the less you tell about your past relationship, the better the next may be. Because when you tell somebody about the things you've been through, they may put you through those things to see if you're going to deal with it again. Some people will play that on you. So don't put too much time into it. If you're getting to know somebody new, stop talking about your past. I just want to know how long you've been single so I know if you've actually healed from your last relationship. I met somebody
So who's to say how long healing takes?
If you're not healed while you dating.
Because for a woman, and I think Milton,
because I'm horny.
Well, because for a woman, you know what I'm saying, with like
You better go buy a rose.
Sometimes we check out a relationship well before we tell you it's over. A woman
Most of the
checks out
time.
mentally.
Mhm.
So I can check out mentally, and in my head, I'm done with you, and I'm already preparing myself to move on. And so my healing process has already started.
But until you heal, you'll bleed on the next person. That's why I don't date until I'm healed.
Right, but I'm
It
just
took
saying,
me-
who says how long
it-
the healing process is? Because I can talk to you and you can think I'm in love with you, and it'll take me a week to be like, okay, he done.